Crime Curious is a true crime podcast that takes an in-depth look into real cases through the lens of a trained investigator and former prosecutor turned judge.
If you are sensitive to expletives, anatomical descriptions, and accurate descriptions of crime scenes, this podcast may not be suitable for you.
Welcome to Crime Curious. I'm Charnell.
Oh, and I'm Brain Breath Jason. Sorry, my phone was ringing.
And
again.
Jason's getting a call right when we hit record.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest in the studio today. Welcome, Tasha.
Hey, y'all.
She is our Southern Louisianan, or as Megan would say, our favorite Cajun. And she is in town for Megan's daughter's wedding, which is why she is here and not Megan, because Megan is very much preparing for her daughter's
Megan's
wedding.
a little frazzled right now.
She is. So Tasha is going to actually present the case for us today, and I will let you explain all of that, but I just wanted to give some background. Tasha was one of our very first Patreons, actually, one of the very first listeners of this podcast, and has since grown into a friend of ours, and now she's like family, and we love her, and she's going to be making all of the desserts with Megan's daughter for her wedding. So,
Well, when Megan told me that Olivia was going to plan on doing all her own desserts, I said, please don't do that, baby. I said, getting married, stressful enough. I mean, it's been 18 years for me, but I still remember it's stressful enough. Don't add to yourself.
right.
And I told her, I said, if I come up, will you let me do it? And she said, yes. So we're actually doing some really unique desserts for her. We came up with a banana Foster cream puff, and we have cranberry lemon gooey cakes. And
I can't wait. I get to try them all.
This is how old I am. I remember Olivia's high school graduation party.
Sure, wasn't that long ago.
And there was like an obscene amount of desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point where I think I probably got sick.
okay, so be prepared for round two.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Her wedding's probably going to be 100 times more.
It will. Let's shake our gree
Hold on.
before we.
My jar of peni.
There you go.
What'd you call them?
Baculum.
Baculum?
Yep.
That is the technical term for a raccoon's penis, is a baculum.
And there
it's
you
because
go.
it's bone.
It's a little
It is.
forky thing.
Mm-hmm. It's got a hook.
It's bent, forked, and bone.
It is.
I mean,
That ain't normal.
I almost bought you and Megan earrings made out of them while I was at the Renaissance Fair a couple of years ago.
I have seen those around before. Mm-hmm.
I was
Yep.
thinking,
You'd
I
have
was
to have a
thinking about getting
special
them to bring on the
occasion for
cruise.
that.
Yeah, what kind of occasion do you wear
Halloween.
a raccoon's penis on your
Halloween.
ears?
Halloween.
Sure.
The whole month of October, you can wear bones.
Yeah, that's true. These are just my very real raccoon penis earrings. I mean, I guess it would happen. All right. What do you have for us today, darling?
So I am going to preface this with all of the credit and research for this story goes to Woody Overton of Real Life, Real Crime, and y'all will understand his part in the story as I tell it, but also to Miss Stephanie Bellegarde. She is the mother of the victim in this story, and she is someone that I have come to love and absolutely respect. She is a mama bear in the best possible way you could ever say that.
Okay. Thank you for that.
So we're going to start on October 1st, 2004. It's a Friday afternoon. Courtney Coco is 19 years old. She's just getting started in life. She's got her own little house, her own little car.
She has her own little house?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
She's got some cats. She's living a good life for a 19-year-old. Got a good job. So she goes over to visit her mama that afternoon about 3 o'clock. And they just kind of visited in the yard. Mom and stepdad were getting ready to go to their camp on Sabine Bayou Landing. It was the opening day of squirrel season, so they were going to go hunting some squirrels.
Squirrel.
I can't even eat squirrel anymore. It's so good.
I haven't had it in a while, but I love me some squirrel.
Yeah, I like hunting them. They're
Me too.
fun.
Yeah, it is
They
fun.
move.
Yeah.
They do. Did we say where we're at?
So
and I
we're
missed
in,
it.
We're in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Okay.
So for those that aren't familiar, like Louisiana is shaped like a boot. Go about halfway up the leg.
Perfect.
Middle of the state.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. And Courtney goes over, visits her mama. Mom gives her like $10 cash for gas and says, you know, would you come over, take care of my little dogs while I'm gone for the weekend? Courtney says, yeah, no big deal. And
back in 2004 when $10 would get you some gas.
yeah.
Right.
Now it gets you like 2 gallons.
Yep.
My Jeep will burn that by the time I crank it.
Yep.
Jason feels my pain.
Yeah.
So, and she gives her milk and bread. Things are going to go bad over the weekend. No big deal. Courtney goes about her day. Miss Stephanie and her husband meet up with some friends, go to the camp. On Saturday, they tried to call Courtney, but remember, cell phones were really in their infancy. You didn't really have text messages. And she's a 19-year-old girl. If she's not answering her phone, no one's really thinking a whole lot of it.
Sure.
And even before they left, they actually, I skipped a little spot, but it's kind of funny. They tried to get Courtney to come with them. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh, no, Mama, you know, I'm not an outside girl. I'm not a woods girl. I like my city. I'll stay home. Y'all have fun. But so Saturday, try to call her. No big deal. That night, Courtney hosts a domino party, like domino game at her house. Some friends come over. No big deal. That's the last time she's seen alive, is at that domino game.
At the domino party.
It's the last time anyone sees Courtney.
Oh, gosh.
So Sunday, October 3rd, 2004, which, weird side note, is my 20th birthday.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
Not to age myself
also,
there,
this is October 8th while we are recording this.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, this really was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Stephanie comes home around dark, and she noticed her dogs hadn't been fed. They try to get into the garbage. The milk and bread are still there, and she just thinks Courtney forgot the milk and bread.
Sure.
And, well, she hadn't made it over here yet today to feed the dogs.
Okay.
No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she thought Mama was coming home a little earlier and didn't feed them that day and figured Mama would do it when she got home.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. So now we're going to actually go to Texas.
Okay.
And this will
We're
make
jump on over
we're
from
gonna jump on
Louisiana
over
to
from
Texas.
Louisiana to Texas. We're in Winnie, Texas, and it's between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. And this gentleman named Jude Wilson, his wife sends him on an errand. Go get me some smokes. So
yes, the good old days.
yeah, but go get me some smokes.
Go get me some smokes.
And he knows what time it was because the store was about to close, the gas station.
Sure.
So that's how we're able to tell the time.
Right.
And he's on this road called FM 1406, which in Texas, they have their farm to market roads, which are their rural roads. They don't name them, they just number them.
Yep.
So he's coming over an overpass on I-10, which is the big interstate that runs across most of the U.S.
Yep.
Coming over there, and there's an abandoned house ahead of him. And he sees a car with the headlights shining on the house. As he gets closer, this car starts backing out. And I mean, it's flying back. And it almost hits them.
Okay.
As he swerves around, he sees the license plate, and it sticks in his head because 2 of the digits were JW, Jude Wilson. So it's stuck in his mind because it's his initials and then an 8. No big deal. Well, you know, they almost hit him. As he comes around that car, he sees a dually truck coming at him. And he recognizes that truck as somebody he knows. So someone witnessed the almost accident, and that's what we're going to call it.
Okay.
The almost accident.
Sure.
He turns around and tries to follow the car, but they jump on the interstate and they book it. They're just booking it towards Houston. And he gives up. A couple days later, he goes into the police station and he makes a report about the almost accident because in his mind, what were they doing at that abandoned house at that time of night? It wasn't anything good. They must have been stealing copper or breaking in. And they
were acting suspicious.
Yeah, some news reports say abandoned building, some say house. What it was a house that the owners ran out of money before they finished it.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of those around here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was a partially
it's an
finished
incomplete house.
The garage doors weren't installed. They were open.
Yeah.
So he goes about his business. I mean, it's an almost accident. It doesn't really impact his life. Mm-hmm. So then we go to October 4th, and we're back at that house.
Mm-hmm. At the abandoned house?
At the abandoned house.
Okay.
And a guy driving a tractor is going down that FM 1406, and he smells something dead. Okay. Like maybe a deer got hit and wandered off the side of the road. And he's looking around for it. Well, when he looks into the garage of that house, he sees a body.
Because the garage doors are not
The garage doors are not there. Okay. So he sees a body laying there. He calls the police. everything that happens normally goes about. And Detective David Rabelais.
David Rabelais?
Detective David Rabelais is the first detective on scene.
Okay.
He immediately recognizes the address when he's given it because his house is about 150 yards away.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The poor man, over the years, the stress of this case actually caused him some major medical issues. Oh. David Rabelais is someone that, like, all the good vibes, we love him to death because he really did fight to solve this case, even though it took so long to solve it.
It's literally his neighbor's home is where this is at least started.
Yeah. So he calls out Texas Ranger Tyler Hearn and the coroner, all the usual suspects.
All the players come into play.
And they can tell she was obviously not killed there. Okay. They know this is a dump site. And it's going to be a big trigger warning, guys.
Okay.
In the garage of the house, she's laying with her head towards the back wall.
Okay.
And her legs towards the street. She is black from the neck up. Just completely black. She's only wearing a t-shirt, an LSU t-shirt. Her heels are pulled up to her buttocks. And her legs are laid open.
Okay.
So her vagina is facing the road.
Right.
That is the first thing you see when you see her body.
Okay. She was positioned
this way. There's also a pool of decomposition fluid around her body. And the other reason they know this is a dump site is because there was dust on the ground.
Oh, sure.
And there's only one set of footprints in the dust.
Okay.
There's no disturbance as if she'd been assaulted there or anything like that. Well, with her face is completely distorted, she's in advanced decomposition. So the only way they had to ID her, they actually cut her high school graduation ring off, and her name was in it.
Okay.
So now we're going to go back to Alexandria to Miss Stephanie, Courtney's mama.
These first of all, the poor first responders, the detectives, Courtney, her mom, just to be positioned that way.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
I mean, anytime a killer does something like that, they're usually lashing out. They're lashing out at either the person, the family. They're trying to hurt somebody.
Right. Yes. The world.
So David Rabelais calls APD, Alexandria Police Department, and they're giving Detective Green. And I'm gonna tell you now, we don't like him.
Okay, just tell it right up front.
You're gonna hate Detective Green by the time we get to the end of this.
Okay.
Well, Detective Green, he says, Detective Green, we got a body over here. It's Courtney Coco. We got this name off of an Alexandria high school graduation ring, so we're assuming she's from your area. And he turns around and he calls Miss Stephanie, and he asks for Courtney after he identifies himself. And Miss Stephanie says, well, Courtney doesn't live here anymore. This is her mama. And she's thinking, did Courtney get in trouble? Did she get in a car accident?
Sure.
Did something happen to her house and they're trying to reach her? She's not thinking anything horrible.
Well, because you shouldn't. That shouldn't be your first thought.
No.
Right.
And he says, well, we found a body in Texas and Courtney's ring was on it.
Oh, God.
That's how Miss Stephanie finds out her child is dead.
Gosh. No.
That's what this asshole did.
Real nice bedside manner.
No. He needs to go back to training.
Or
training needs to be better.
So Miss Stephanie goes, I got to go, and hangs up.
Yeah.
And she starts calling the family. And she calls Miss Ina, her mama. She calls her sister, Michelle. She has other sisters. She calls them. She calls her husband. And she calls Lace, it's Courtney's older sister.
Okay.
And David, Lace's fiance, and they all come to the house within about 30 minutes. The whole house is full of family. Like, she's surrounded the way she should be in this situation.
Okay.
So Detective Green calls Rabelais back. All of this is by phone at this point. And he says, yeah, we know her. We know who she is. And Detective Rabelais said, okay. And he goes, yeah, she's just an old crackhead.
What?
That is what Detective Green said about a 19-year-old girl who had been murdered. She's just an old crackhead.
First of all, where did the allegations about drugs even come in? Also, she's 19.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, you're right. We hate him. Okay.
I told you, I wanted to preface it with that so that when you got madder and madder at him, you remembered it's okay. We can hate him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Miss Stephanie at this point is just not in a condition to answer the phone, and Green calls back again.
Okay.
He still hadn't gone to the damn house. He's calling. And Miss Stephanie's sister answers and starts asking questions, and Green finally goes, maybe I think I should go over there. You freaking think?
Wow.
You freaking think maybe you should come over here and answer our questions?
Yeah. So I'm wondering though, when he's saying there's a ring with her, her name on it, is he trying to maybe say it might not be her? Maybe this body is just, wearing her ring, because there hasn't been a positive identification by a person who knows her yet, right? So, it's still not a good way to do this.
Well, the first phone call I could almost understand. The first one.
Yeah, yeah.
But the second
not
one, you're pretty
one,
sure.
The old crack one, that's never okay.
None of that's okay.
No.
So Miss Stephanie is in no condition to go identify the body, and they need someone to come over and identify Courtney's body.
Of course.
She could not be visually identified because of the level of decomposition she was in. Now, remember, she was last seen on Saturday. She found on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
This is an unbelievable amount of decomposition for that amount of time.
And it's hot. Yeah. October in Texas is still quite hot.
Trust me.
Right.
In Louisiana, it's still quite hot.
Yeah.
The day before I came up here, I was wearing cutoff shorts and a tank top and sweating, and I get up here and it's freezing.
To be fair, the day before you came, we were wearing tank tops and cutoffs. The day you came, you brought the cold somehow. That was weird, Gator Girl. We do not know how you did that. There was a 30-degree difference from the day before you came to the day you did come.
Of course. Just for me.
Just for you.
Just for me.
You're the one that said it felt good when you walked outside yesterday.
It did yesterday. It's cold today.
It is cold.
So they need somebody to go to Texas. So the next morning, 5 a.m., Courtney's godfather, who is also her uncle, but he is in a unique position to go and identify her for the family because he is actually a U.S. Marshal.
Okay.
So he's now retired.
He can emotionally handle this.
He can emotionally handle it better than
Mama,
Courtney or than Stephanie or Michelle or any of them. And he goes to Texas, and Miss Stephanie says, so Courtney just got her braces put back on her teeth. Look for that. And she just got a little butterfly tattoo on her lower back. Like all the girls were doing in the early
2004.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, butterfly tattoo on the back. So he goes and he calls the house and he calls Michelle. And he tells Michelle it's Stephanie. Or it's Courtney, I'm sorry.
Yep.
That is Courtney. And Michelle said it's the hardest thing she's ever done in her life to look at her sister and say, your baby's dead.
Right, of course.
Miss Stephanie passed out.
Sure.
She passed out on the ground, and I was listening in Woody's podcast. He did an interview with the entire family, and listening to Miss Ina talk about it will bring tears to your eyes because she said she kept just, baby, you got to come back to us. You got to come back to us.
Sure.
We need you. And Miss Stephanie said, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to live in a world my child's not in.
Right.
And as a parent, I resonate. That hit me to the core.
Absolutely. Yes.
So they start all of the regular proceedings of a investigation, or at least it seems on the surface they are.
Okay.
And we'll get into that.
I don't like how you say that.
We'll get into that. In the long run, it took 18 years to solve this case.
Jesus.
And it should not have.
Right.
In any way, shape, or form. You look like you got a question.
No, I'm just baffled.
So Ranger Hearn, Tyler Hearn, he tracks down Stephanie's phone. I'm sorry, I keep saying Stephanie. Courtney's phone in Houston. Him and Detective Rabelais pinged the phone right to the pocket of a 15-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
Like 15 to 20 minutes before the phone actually died.
Wow.
Like died. So they get the phone, they find the car after staking out the area, and it's in a bad area, Houston. But they lie to the people and tell them that it's associated with the murder of a mother and baby. And even bad guys don't like baby killers.
Yeah, right.
So they do find a car, but it's all a big nothing burger. Because the car's been used as a crack loaner. None of the DNA from the inside of the car is really usable. The people that had the car are completely unrelated, so that doesn't lead anywhere. The only usable information that comes from the car is there's 2 little spots of decomposition fluid in the trunk.
Okay.
So that tells us that her body was probably transported in the trunk of that car. Rabelais asked Green to secure Courtney's house immediately.
Sure.
When they found Courtney's body, go get a search warrant, secure Courtney's house. Green waits 3 days.
3 days?
Green waits 3 days.
What was he doing?
I don't know. I guess he had his thumb up his butt.
I think so.
If I'm the killer,
Don't homicides usually take priority?
One would think.
One would hope.
Maybe he had a long weekend scheduled away. I don't know.
But, I mean, if I'm the killer, I'm going in there and make sure I didn't leave shit. I'm going to make it look perfect.
If you've been there, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There are no signs of forced entry into Courtney's house.
Okay.
The house in general is in pretty good condition. In fact, Miss Stephanie said Courtney was a great housekeeper, that the house was always clean, and it looked like it always did. Okay. You knew that there was a domino game and stuff like that. So, 19-year-old, they played till later in the evening. She probably just planned on cleaning up the next day. So when they do go in to search, they find the domino game. They take that. They take the scorecards. They find some cigarette butts and things like that. And they confiscate all that with the search warrant. Well, when Rabelais is told about that search warrant, he's only told that they took some of Courtney's clothes. Green does not share the full search warrant return with him at all. So none of the DNA stuff was ever tested that we can find. No one did anything with it. And Rabelais would have gladly gone and gotten it and brought it to the Texas labs to have tested if Alexandria wasn't going to test it.
Right.
Is Alexandria a large city?
Alexandria is moderate. I would say, I don't know, I'd have to look at the population, but they're big enough to have multiple Dollar Generals.
Okay. All right.
Listen, our county has multiple Dollar Generals because we're so rural.
No.
There's one on every corner.
No, y'all don't know nothing
so
about
funny.
Dollar Generals till y'all come down to Louisiana. I actually texted my husband driving from the airport to here. I was like, oh my God, this is the longest I've ever driven and not seen a Dollar General.
Oh, you're not going to find them on the highways or anything like that.
But no,
we
you're
only put
driving
ours
through-
in country.
Yeah.
You drive through
Put ours where they don't
nothing.
belong.
No, you drive through nothing. There's literally nothing around. But a Dollar
And then
General.
there's Dollar General. That's how it is
That's
here
ours.
too. Yeah. Yep.
So also
100%.
notable from the search was that Courtney's comforter was missing. We know her car and cell phone were missing, but also her bed was the only thing that was out of order in the whole house.
Okay.
The mattress was kind of cocked sideways on the box spring, and there was like a cork board had fallen and was like propped up under it. So I couldn't get a real clear picture of how the corkboard was under it, but it was between mattress and box spring. Whether it was propping the mattress up or just wedged in there, I'm not sure.
Okay. But certainly not on the wall where it belongs.
Correct. So Rabelais comes to Louisiana, and he wants to talk to Courtney's best friend who was at the domino game. And understandable thing. She says she and Courtney spent the whole evening driving around smoking weed.
Okay.
And drinking.
Not crack, by
Not
the way.
Not crack. Marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, for a 19-year-old, who can really fault them?
It's illegal here, so we don't even think anything about marijuana in Michigan.
I'm jealous. We have to still get it with a medical card.
Oh, yeah. Nope, it is legal in Michigan, so nope.
No, they were smoking weed according to the best friend.
Mm-hmm.
They went and picked the best friend's boyfriend up from work, brought him back to the house, and then they continue to smoke weed and just hang out.
Okay.
Well, when Courtney's tox screen comes back, she has 0.32 of alcohol in her blood
Okay.
and a therapeutic dose of tramadol. You notice what I didn't say?
Marijuana? There's no marijuana?
There's no marijuana. And because her body was in such advanced stage of decomposition, you can't even go off an alcohol test because as the blood ferments, it turns into alcohol. So a 0.32 for Courtney, who was like 100 pounds, she couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
Well,
So-
and it's going to be skewed because it's
Yeah.
been days.
Because it's been days. So Rabelais comes back to Louisiana.
And you said trazodone?
Tramadol.
Oh, tramadol.
Yeah, tramadol. So an
Okay.
OTC painkiller.
Yeah, but did she
mean,
have a history of taking those?
I'm not
Did
sure.
Mom say? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I don't have that information, but I know like I've taken tramadol. It's good for certain muscle groups. And I've been given it by doctors before, and it's not a controlled substance. It's not, and it was a therapeutic dose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A
So
reasonable dose. And it was like,
Yeah.
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 So Rabelais comes back to Louisiana, and obviously he wants to talk to this chick again because she obviously lied to him. So he tells Green, I want to go talk to him. I want to talk to Jitty, Courtney's boyfriend. I want to talk to
Did you say Jitty?
Jitty.
Okay.
Yep, that was his name.
All right.
That is not his legal name.
Sure.
But because the kid...
Not his government name. We got it.
It's not
Okay.
his government name, but because the kid has been proven to be not involved, you'll notice there's going to be some people like her best friend. I'm not going to give the name because these people have been dragged through the mud for years. They've been under suspicion for years because the case wasn't solved. And I don't want to
18
throw any
years.
more shade on these people that have been
Just say
proved
it
to not
right up
be
front then. They are not involved.
Yeah, they are not involved. So he comes back. He wants to talk to these people. Well, Green says, come on, we'll go for a ride. Well, Green proceeds to just give him a tour. Like takes him through Alexandria, shows him all the bad places, never finds these people he's asking to talk to. He goes back and forth multiple times. They never produce the witnesses he wants to talk to. They never help him. They never go. They're not cooperative.
Okay.
So then, Rabelais back in Texas, and we're just going to deal with Green for a minute.
Okay.
Green calls Lace. Remember, Lace is Courtney's older sister, and tells her he's got information about Courtney that he wants to talk to her about. So she comes into the station. Well, this ass proceeds to literally just hammer her for hours. You killed your sister. You know who killed your sister, and interrogate her. Like a full light in the face interrogation.
Where does this even come from?
Exactly.
He's just trying to throw spaghetti against the wall and see what's going to stick.
I honestly can't tell you if there's anything in the man's mind or what was going on in there.
Like, it seems like he should have to have some sort of evidence before he just goes interrogating.
The sister.
I can see interviewing her, but you guys should know there is a difference between an interrogation and an interview. In an interview, you are absolutely just asking questions. In an interrogation, you are trying to extract answers.
Yeah, he absolutely interrogated her. And she has some health issues. After hours, we're talking like 5 to 8 hours of interrogation. She has not been given food. She has not been given water. He says, well, you go and take a polygraph. Right then. Takes her down the hall. They put
After he's dehydrated her and
stressed her out.
Yes, yeah.
Puts the equipment on her, and Lace freaks. Like, I mean, I would. You would.
Yeah.
She rips the equipment off and goes, I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
And she leaves.
Yeah.
Well, she goes home and she does the smartest thing she can do. Remember that uncle that's a U.S.
Yes.
Marshal? That's who she calls.
Okay.
And she tells him, and he says, okay, you go back tomorrow, get you a good night's sleep, eat, go back tomorrow and take that polygraph and prove to them you didn't hurt your sister.
Right.
Go do it just to clear yourself.
Okay.
So she goes in the next day, she takes that polygraph and she passes. To the point the polygrapher looked her in the eye and said, I have zero doubt that you are not involved in murdering your sister. You have no knowledge. Green, is probably watching this from the other side of a camera or a two-way glass or whatever. He takes her straight from that room to another room where they give her a voice stress test analyzer. Are y'all familiar with those?
No.
We could take your phone, put it on this table, and I tell you, if you lie to me, the screen's going to turn green, and it's about as accurate.
Well, yeah, no.
It's absolutely...
Well, also, you can't use polygraph.
Well,
for,
they're inadmissible in court to begin with.
Exactly.
I mean, I think they're great investigative tools because they at least give a baseline. You at least know, they are under a well-trained polygrapher, can be a tool. And people feel that stress of being in there, and they're more likely to tell the truth because they think this thing's going to tell you that they're lying. Well, Green turns around and he calls Rabelais.
Okay.
And he tells Rabelais she's absolutely involved. She did it.
Oh, Jesus.
Because she refused the polygraph and then she failed a voice stress test analyzer. Never tells him that she came back and took a polygraph and passed it.
Oh, okay.
Never tells him that. Well, Rabelais, at the time, the voice stress test analyzer was new technology.
It's still not something that I would even consider reliable. Yeah. I mean, I don't consider polygraphs necessarily reliable either.
And that's the thing is that none of it. But Green says, okay, well, send me the, not Green, Rabelais says, send me the reports.
Give me some evidence that links her to the crime. Some actual factual evidence.
Exactly.
That links her to the crime.
He says, well, send me the report so I can add them to my file. Well, nope. He never gets that. He doesn't get it.
Okay.
He comes back to Louisiana. He's trying again, trying to work with Alexandria. And Alexandria really just blows him off in a lot of ways. Green does. So he goes to the sheriff and he tells the sheriff, your people ain't working with me. They're not giving me the information I need to help them. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff, wink, wink, nod, nod, y'all play nice.
Yeah. This is the thing. Trying multiple jurisdictions, it's a nightmare. In some places, trying to coordinate.
In 2 different states.
Yep.
And I think Green just didn't care.
Sure.
Like, there is no reason for this level of incompetence other than negligence.
Mm-hmm. And he just wanted an easy solve. It's the sister. Yeah. Case closed. Let's go.
So Rabelais goes back and talks to his supervisors, and his supervisor are like, look, if Louisiana's not going to work with you, we can't solve this by ourselves. I'm going to have to pull you from the case. We got other active cases. Mm-hmm. I mean, understandable. He needed to move on. Right. The poor man never personally and emotionally moved on.
Oh.
You can hear a interview with him on Woody Overton's podcast, and this really was something that ate at him for the years.
Sure.
So at this point, this case goes cold, but not just cold. It goes 1,000 feet under frozen bullshit cold. APD is doing nothing with it. Mm-hmm. They just kind of push it aside to the point that even though they got multiple people coming in and telling them that this person's going around, they got diarrhea of the mouth. They're going around telling everybody and their brother, I killed Courtney. I dumped her in Texas. I killed Courtney. I strangled her. They don't do nothing with the information. They took a report and they put it in the file. But they didn't count it as credible, so they didn't even investigate it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now around 2017, this is about 12 years in.
Okay.
Miss Stephanie reaches out to Woody Overton. And at the time, he was working as a consultant to law enforcement. Woody is a retired state investigator and a former Livingston detective. Okay. So Woody is well educated. He is also a certified polygrapher. He goes all over the state doing polygraphs. Mm-hmm. And she says, I need help. I need somebody, my own private law enforcement, come in and help solve this. And Woody says, I'll take a look at it.
Does he do private investigations?
He is not a private investigator.
Okay.
He goes out and he tells Miss Stephanie, it's been long enough, it's cold, go FOIA whatever they will give you.
Yeah.
So Miss Stephanie goes and talks to our friend Detective Green.
Oh, boy.
And Green says, oh, no, you don't want to bring him in. He's an outsider. He don't know us. He let us do it. We got this brand new cold case unit, and they're going to take the case, and they're going to go solve this case for you. And so she goes, okay. She calls Woody back and says, look, they're turning it over to the cold case. I'm going to give them a chance. Because it's not Green doing it. I'm going to give them a chance, see if this cold case unit can make some movement. And I can almost understand where she's coming from.
Yeah. I'm sure he was very convincing, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one way or the other, it's out of Green's hand into somebody else's. So that's really what she wanted. She just wanted someone working it.
Yeah.
Well, this cold case unit goes over to Texas. They talk to Detective Rabelais. And then they go to the morgue where Courtney's body was autopsied. And apparently there is some of her blood still in cold storage 12 years later.
Okay.
They take that blood back and the original autopsy reports, and they send it to a different pathologist.
Okay.
And that pathologist retests the blood and looks at the stuff and comes back, close case, it's an overdose.
What?
When they retested, she had 9 times the legal limit of alcohol in her blood and 18,000 milligrams of tramadol.
How?
Exactly. The blood, again, we
Her
can
poor
account for.
mother. Oh my gosh.
The blood, we can account for that blood is still fermenting. Same reason you can't trust the number on the first test. You can't trust the test 12 years later. So they go back to Rabelais and say, hey, we're closing this case. It's an accidental overdose.
Then she positioned herself like that?
Yeah.
How did her head be? You said it was black, right?
Yeah.
From the neck up. Okay.
So Miss Stephanie had the exact reaction you have. Why? How? How
Right.
did my child, if she overdosed in her house, why didn't they leave her in her house?
Right, exactly.
Why did they move her?
Yeah, then there's no reason for any of the ways she was positioned, for strangulation, anything like that, whatever happened.
Exactly.
No.
That is
Just no.
That was Miss
So
Stephanie's
try again.
reaction.
Okay.
Also, in the original autopsy, when they checked Courtney's stomach contents, there was French fries and bubble gum in her stomach. If she had 9 times the legal limit of alcohol in her stomach, like went through her stomach, wouldn't she have thrown up?
At some point, yeah.
And 1,800 milligrams of tramadol, that would be like 20 pills.
Yeah.
Wouldn't there be remnants of pills in her stomach? So where are they
Yeah.
if that was in there? It almost sounds like the blood from being so old was unreliable. Go figure.
Yeah. So it wasn't frozen. It was just
I'm
refrigerated.
not real clear on that. I didn't find anything that
Because-
definitively says whether it was frozen or just stored.
It just feels like perhaps the evidence was not stored correctly for it to be able to be preserved.
Well, and there's something else we're going to talk about when we get to the trial that'll also make more sense
okay.
about why that is a very unreliable test, regardless of how the blood was stored. So Miss Stephanie gives them about 2 years. They're working it. She's trying to get answers. She goes back to Woody.
And she's giving him time.
And she says, Woody, they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I need answers. I want answers. My baby deserves answers.
Yeah.
And APD claims the case is still open, though they've told everybody it's an accidental overdose. And Woody says, you know what, Miss Stephanie, I'll take the case. I will work this for you with one condition. I'm going to be working it as an investigative journalist. And now we're 14, 15 years later.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we're going to solve this is with the help of the public.
Yeah.
Let me cover it on my podcast. Let me cover it step by step so I can get the public invested in Courtney's case and get the information I need to solve it and bring her justice.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Stephanie says, okay, that's okay with her. So Woody starts doing exactly that. He sets up a tip line. You can go, like I said, it's Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You can go back. You can listen to everything from the introductory episode all the way through the trial there, where he did play-by-play episodes on everything. He starts getting tips. And one of those tips that he got was from a guy or a girl that was married to the perpetrator's best friend.
Okay.
And she says that he's always told her that this person killed Courtney. He says, well, will you get a recording of him saying it? And she said, yeah, I can get him. We're divorced, but yeah, I can get a recording. Woody drove through the night to get her cell phone and take it into evidence to turn over to the police. And sure as hell, that's exactly what he says is, I don't know what happened, but David Burns killed her.
No.
Do you recognize that name from the beginning?
No.
He was Lace's fiance.
Oh, okay.
He was Lace's
The
fiance.
sister's fiance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And he's the one going around bragging
that he
about
killed
killing
Courtney.
her?
Yeah.
And no one thought we didn't want to pick this up for an investigation, even though he had access to her, certainly.
Personal connection,
Yeah.
access. He's telling everybody he killed her.
Right.
He's telling everybody to listen
Right.
that he killed
Which
her.
also is
Apparently.
bizarre.
Well, apparently he obviously not a good dude, but had issues with drugs and alcohol. And apparently the more he drank, the more loose his lips got.
Sure.
So I think that's one of the reasons that
This is why you shouldn't drink if you've done dark things.
Right.
Yeah. Don't have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yes, exactly.
So
That's when his conscience wanted to come out, huh?
So Woody spends about 6 to 8 weeks investigating.
Okay.
And he solves it. He knows exactly what happened, how it happened, when it happened. The problem is he's not law enforcement anymore. He can't do anything with this.
Right.
He's an investigative journalist at this point.
Yeah.
So he has to turn it back over to APD. So he goes in, there's a new sheriff, and he talks in person with Miss Stephanie to the sheriff and presents all the evidence that they've compiled. And a young new detective, Detective Tanner Dryden, sees it and gets excited. We're going to solve this. We're going to come in. We're going to get it right. And Tanner did it. Tanner did the damn thing.
Good.
Like, great guy, awesome detective. I can't say enough good about Tanner Dryden. He's the polar opposite of Green.
Sure.
So Tanner takes it, and he does take about another year to reinvestigate because he's got to verify everything.
He does. He has to go through the steps. Yes.
Yeah. He's got to follow the steps. He's got to make sure when we take this to court, we're coming correct and that we're
Right.
going to get a conviction.
Right.
Well, as he's going through all that, remember our little friend Jude Wilson going for smokes? Mm-hmm. He comes across Jude's statement.
Jude, saying that he saw somebody peeling out of this abandoned house.
So he calls Jude up, and he asked Jude what he saw. And let me give y'all a little information on Jude here. Okay. Jude is one of those freaky smart people that's almost a little awkward. Mm-hmm. One of the people that was talking about him said, think of Rain Man.
Okay.
And that's Jude Wilson. Jude Wilson is also an artist. Like when he was in school, nobody else wanted to compete against him in art contests because Jude was always going to win.
Okay.
So he asked Jude, he said, well, do you remember this incident? Jude goes, oh, yeah, and tells him the whole thing right down to the license plate numbers.
Great.
Obviously, it's been like 16 years.
Yeah.
So the man remembered it if he's telling you the same story.
Yes, yeah, that's not changed.
And he says, well, I saw him. When he walked around the front of the car,
Yeah.
I saw him. And then when he was backing out, my headlights hit and I saw his profile. And Detective Dryden says, well, if I brought you a lineup, do you think you could pick him out? And Jude goes, I could do you one better. I can draw him for you.
Oh.
And he draws the profile and sends it to Tanner Dryden. And Tanner Dryden gets it and goes, holy shit, it's David Burns.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
amazing.
Then he calls and he goes, okay, the drawing's amazing. But for court, I need a 6-pack identification. Do you think you can do that? And Jude says, well, yeah, I'm an artist.
Right.
My mind, once I've seen your profile, my mind fills in the rest of it. Brings the 6-pack, Jude, right there. That's him.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, really just was that nail in the coffin.
Mm-hmm. And it was David Burns.
It was
that
David Burns.
picked out in the lineup too.
In Courtney's car, at the house that Courtney was dumped at.
Mm-hmm.
Puts all the pieces together for them.
Sure, except the lingering question. Did the sister know?
The sister did not. I will answer that one for you now.
Okay, thank you.
There
Because
has
this
been-
whole time I'm like, was Green onto something when he was pointing at the sister? He was close, but no cigar.
Yes. The sister is absolutely not involved. That's why I wanted to say it up front.
Good.
The best friend, Jitty, the sister,
Yeah,
they are
they're not
completely
involved.
innocent.
Oh gosh.
So Stephanie at this point is called into the DA's office.
And is Lace even still with this guy at this point in time?
So we'll cover that when we get to the trial.
Okay.
They did
I'm
break
like
up.
Megan and asking all the questions ahead of
Yeah,
time.
no,
Sorry.
You're killing it.
No, you're
Sorry.
good.
Let me.
You're doing good at pretending you're Megan.
I do. I know. I'm sorry, but now I understand why she does it because
Yeah.
it's like you want to know. I'm
Yeah.
going to sit quietly and listen now.
I don't believe that.
You've been a listener far too long to know.
I've been on vacation with you.
That's true.
So they bring Miss Stephanie back in and they tell her, you know who killed your child. We know who killed your child. We will be making an arrest in the next 2 months. We're nailing down some loose ends. We're going to be making an arrest. Well, 2 months comes and 2 months goes and crickets.
Oh, no.
And Miss Stephanie calls Woody, what can we do? And Woody says, we can do a peaceful protest. So they did it right on the front lawn of the DA's office.
Really?
They
Okay.
protested.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
called that man out. Well, on April 9th, 2021, David Anthony Burns was indicted by grand jury
Okay.
for the second-degree murder of Courtney Coco. He was a pallbearer at her funeral. There is a cross in front of the house where she was found. He helped put it there.
Oh my gosh.
He hugged
Disgusting.
the family and cried with them and mourned with them as if he didn't know what happened.
Well, that was all part of it for him.
So we're going to go through a little bit of the trial because I think he kind of brings some of those loose ends in because, and I'm giving y'all the story kind of in the order I found out.
Okay.
And that it's presented through Woody's podcast. I did fill in some stuff just to flesh it out because the information that they had when Woody first started covering it was very vague.
Sure.
So the state of Louisiana versus David Anthony Burns started on October 25th, 2022, 18 years after Courtney's murder. Rapides Parish actually brought in a special prosecutor, Hugo Holland, and the defense. If y'all listen to Woody's coverage, I really encourage y'all, if you don't listen to any other part, go back and listen to him talking about the witness testimony because Christopher LaCour is a dumbass.
Okay.
He's absolutely, I understand defense attorneys have a job to do. There were times where he showed up at court 10, 15, 20 minutes after their time was supposed to start and then gets there, asked for a continuance or something like that. And the judge is like, no, we're doing this today. Like you were told
And
we're doing
also,
this today.
Why are you late, sir?
Yeah. And he goes, well, I need to confer with my client. So then he stops court again so we can go talk to his client after he's done already been late.
Right.
I mean, he's a buffoon.
Yep. Sounds like it.
So we're going to, all of the witness testimony I'm giving y'all is Woody's abbreviated that I got from Woody. So I'm giving full credit to him.
Sure.
I want to make sure I'm calling that out because it really is the only coverage. There is a dateline on this. Woody's on it. Anything that is involved in this case, Woody is in it.
Sure.
So that's the best place I could get information. And since I do know Woody and Stephanie, I've been part of their podcast group for a very long time as well.
Right.
I was able to get a little bit more from them. And then Miss Stephanie really helped me out. And she was very supportive of me covering the case with you guys.
Good. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. So
And to Miss Stephanie.
Dr. Tommy Brown, which, y'all, I had to giggle when I heard this the first time. My father-in-law's name is Tommy Brown, and he's definitely not a doctor.
Right.
He is not a doctor.
He's a very intelligent, very good man, but he ain't no doctor. He was the original pathologist that did Courtney's autopsy in Beaumont, Texas in 2004. At this point, he's about 88 years old, and he's done more than 15,000 autopsies.
That's a lot of bodies.
That is a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
And he testified more than 100 times. So he started his career in the military. Then once he retired as a full bird colonel in 1972, became a civilian pathologist.
Oh my gosh.
And did Courtney's autopsy in 2004. You think this man knew what he was doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So he said that Courtney's body, it smelled really bad, like decomposition. And originally he assumed she had been dead 4 to 7 days by the condition of her body. But because the timeline established she was seen Saturday night at the domino game, and we know that's not a lie because she's also seen on video camera at a gas station Saturday afternoon.
Sure. And she was with her mom Friday, right? So yeah.
So we've got all of this.
Is it just increase? Was it hot? Is that
it was very hot? And remember, there was those 2 spots of decomposition fluid in the trunk of the car. So they called General Motors, who had done a study on the temperature of the inside of a closed up car. And Alexandria that Friday was 85 degrees, and that Saturday was 85, and Sunday was 88.
Okay.
The interior of a car within 2 hours exceeds 140 degrees. And that's the passenger compartment.
Right.
The trunk can get well over 200 degrees. Okay. So that is where the advanced decomposition came from. She was left in her car from Saturday night to Sunday night. So, and that's why her face and head was all black, was the way she was in the trunk.
Oh, okay. I got you now.
There was also lividity found down one side of her body, consistent with her being placed in the trunk. Her nose was artificially flattened, like she had been laying on her face for a period of time. Okay. So you can tell the body was moved around a little bit before it was brought to Texas.
So we for sure have lividity from her neck and her head up, and then also some down the side of her right side. So she was probably on her right side, kind of upside down.
Yes.
Position. Okay. In that trunk.
That tox screen we originally talked about, there's actually an issue with even looking at quantities from that blood. Because of the state of Courtney's body, there was no blood left in her body.
Okay.
From decomposition. All her blood had decomposed. So to do a tox screen, he had to go to essentially a last resort and use her spleen.
Oh.
So he had to cut slices in her spleen. And I'm not sure if he just cut like cuts in it or if he actually sliced it. But he had to squeeze it to get blood out of it. And the issue with this is that when you do this test, it's qualitative, not quantitative, meaning that it can tell you yes or no, is it there? But it can't tell you how much.
You can't actually measure it.
So there was no way. That second tox screen, there's no way.
No.
So then her stomach, like we talked about, the French fries and the gum, the doctor says she was killed within 1 to 2 hours of eating. And the gum, actually, the doctor said was very significant because in all his autopsies, he's only seen that like 2 other times. And it's typically someone's chewing gum and they're suffocated or choked and they choke and swallow the gum.
Oh.
Most people are not going to just swallow their gum. So it usually has to do with that surprise. So everything there is, and he even testified, if she had that much alcohol in her system, her stomach would have been empty.
Right.
There wouldn't have been any.
I know mine would have been.
Right,
Yeah. So his final determination was smothered or asphyxiated by hand or pillow. That second blood test in 2014 is completely inaccurate, as we've already talked about. But he made a statement that really impacted me. And he backed that up in medical journals, that using that blood that way, the way he put it was flirting with medical and legal disaster. That it was completely inconclusive. You can't use that.
Right. And you should not have been making case determinations based on it to say, oh, she overdosed, case closed, bam, wham, bam.
Exactly. So then our next witness is Waylon Durrison.
Okay.
He's a 40-year-old white man, really rough looking. And let me tell y'all just a little bit about Waylon. Waylon, when they went to find him, they had to hunt him down in a homeless shelter.
Okay.
And they tried to get him to come back voluntarily. He refused. So they ended up actually having to arrest him and put him in the Rapides Parish Jail until the trial so that he would be there. Now, our Hugo Holland, the prosecutor, did do everything he could to make this comfortable. He made sure he wasn't in solitary, put money on his books, made sure his mama got to come and see him, made sure he had everything he needed.
And so, is he a witness?
He's a witness.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna get to how he witnessed. So remember we talked about all those people that came forward and said that David Burns was telling them. Well, Durrison is one of those people.
Okay.
So in 2011, he went to APD and reported Burns had told him that he killed Courtney. And he said it was in a conversation they were talking about, could you kill somebody? You know how you have those weird hypothetical conversations with friends, especially if you're drinking or doing something?
No. We don't record it and publicize it either. It's weird.
And when he said, I don't think I could actually kill somebody, Burns' response was, nah, it's not as hard as you think, buddy. I killed her with a pillow and I wrapped her body in a blanket and dropped her off in Texas. He told him it was Courtney. He told him how he killed her. He told him where he dropped her off. So why this testimony was not taken serious sooner, I don't know. He had way too much specific information.
Because this man was homeless, and not to say that he was necessarily homeless in 2012, but if he had a criminal history, something like that. So they're just not taking this guy's word seriously based on judgments of his character.
Pretty much that's exactly what it was, because he had used drugs in the past and things like that. He and Burns were either drinking or using drugs when they were talking. So they blew him off. They ignored him.
What I'm learning from this case is that if you're going to kill someone, do it in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Right, and then go ahead and
tell people about it.
Tell people.
And you'll probably get away with it for a good 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you just tell people that they deem from the lower echelon. Come on.
On that little side note, another episode of Real Life Real Crime that if you're interested in Rapides, go listen to Rapides Burning, where Woody calls out all the unsolved cases, all the different things he found out about while he was investigating Courtney's case. Mm-hmm. Because Rapides is, I cannot say this for 100% certain, I believe they are currently being investigated off the back of this case and some of the stuff that was uncovered and turned over to state police. Mm-hmm. So our friend LaCour, the dumbass, goes after Durison. And he's like...
This is the defense attorney. Goes after the witness.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He goes, you ever been convicted of lying? And Durison's like, no, I haven't been convicted of lying. You been convicted of misrepresentation? No, I hadn't been convicted of misrepresentation. What have you been convicted of? He's like, theft. He was essentially trying to
Why was the prosecutor not in?
The prosecutor was, and I'm giving y'all a very abbreviated version.
I'm like, why were there not objections?
Oh, there were objections.
We can't talk about prior bad acts. Okay.
Yeah, they were. And what he was looking for, he was trying to get Durison to give him the legal definition of theft. And that's what the prosecutor ended up. He's like, he's asking the witness to give the legal definition. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it's not relevant here because this isn't a theft case. He didn't steal anything.
Yeah, but the part that is relevant, he ticked Durison off. And it gets funny because Durison don't take it. He, at one point, looks at David Anthony Burns and yells out in open court, why don't you be a man and tell these people what you told me so I'm not having to be up on this stand telling them what you said.
Nice.
Like, for real, just putting it out there like, dude, you told me this. And so why don't you just admit it so we can all go home?
So then another part where LaCour really got Durison going and Durison had the courtroom actually giggling. LaCour asked Durison about drug use, and Durison says, yes, I've used drugs. Mm-hmm. And he says, well, when's the last time you got high? And Durison says, about 6 months ago. And LaCour, when Hugo Holland first called Durison up to the stand, he put a picture up on the screen of Durison in the back of that police car passed out asleep.
What?
Well, he did it to show that this man is here. He doesn't particularly want to be here. Yeah. But we need the information he has.
He's Holland not voluntarily here.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Holland didn't do it in a mean way. He did it to kind of, if he's a little combative, please, jury, understand. He doesn't really want to be here, but he's here.
Well, and also, it also would take the wind out of the sails of the defense attorney that may try to bring that up and use it against him as well. But okay, I'm with you. Yes.
So, of course,
and also keep in mind he was put in jail for being houseless.
Yeah.
To be used as a witness as well.
Yeah, because he refused to come.
Yeah.
So LaCour says, you see that picture? You look passed out in the back of that police car. And Durison says, well, I am passed out. I was asleep.
Yeah, right.
And LaCour says, you look like you're high then. And Durison, you look like you're high now. And LaCour goes, we found you in a homeless shelter. Durison goes, that don't mean I'm high. Not everyone in a homeless shelter is high all the time.
Right.
You look like you're high, Mr. Attorney Man.
That's funny.
After redirect, I think this was actually one of the big nails in the coffin. Besides all the evidence that points to Burns, LaCour really turned the jury against him and his client simply by his actions. After all this, and this man's been promised, as soon as you're done testifying, we will let you go. Like literally the only reason we're holding you is because we need you here to testify. We have subpoenaed you. You need to be here.
Right.
And Hugo Holland says, I'm a man of my word. You are free to be released. And LaCour jumps up and slams his hand down. Your Honor, I order you to arrest him. And the judge goes, wait a minute. I don't arrest people. And LaCour goes, well, he's got an open warrant in Rapides Parish, and I want him arrested. And the judge says, we will have to check into that. LaCour goes, no, he needs to take care of his legal business here in Rapides Parish. I want him arrested. And the judge is starting to get irritated.
Right.
He goes, we will look into that.
But we're currently in the middle of a trial.
But you don't arrest anybody. We will look into it.
Right.
Well, thankfully, Hugo Holland came back in open court later on that day, and he said that there was a warrant, but it was for Durison's dad, that Durison had been released. And I'm glad they did. I'm glad they he fulfilled
set that straight
his,
for him. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm glad they put it on the record.
Yes.
Because that also, this man was not being dishonest.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And also it needs to be on the record for appeal purposes.
Yes. So Jude Wilson got up and testified everything he saw. Remember we talked about as he came around, he saw that dually that he knew the person in it. That's Miss Janet Vayon.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm even bringing her up, yes, she solidifies Jude's story. But at the time that the case happened, she actually worked for the Chambers County investigative department. And now she's the chief clerk for the Chambers County court system. So she's a very, very reliable, very factual witness. And she was not somebody that needed to be written off in any way. But she really solidified Jude, as if Jude drawing a picture of the guy wasn't enough.
Right. That in of itself helps.
I like that part.
Yes.
I like that
That
part.
was my favorite part. I'll just draw you a picture and send it to you.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give you a picture of the guy. So then Miss Michelle Paul, Courtney's aunt, got up, and Hugo says, do you want to be here today? And Michelle says, nothing could keep me away. Said, when did you get into Courtney's house? And she said, well, Lace was able to go in after 5 days and get Courtney's cats.
Oh, the cats.
Yes, they did let her go in after 5 days and get the cats.
Were they okay?
They were okay.
Had anybody fed them?
I don't know about any of that, but I do
That's
know
horrible.
the cat was, the cats were gotten out of the house after 5 days. 18 days later, Miss Stephanie, Michelle, a bunch of the family went over to pack up Courtney's house and get all of her stuff. And that's when they noticed that her leopard print comforter was missing. And we talked about the comforter being missing. And then Durison said he wrapped her in a blanket. But she also noticed that in the dryer, there was a bunch of shop towels, like 5 to 10 shop towels, and it smelled really strong of bleach. And APD didn't take them. They didn't do anything with them.
Okay.
It smelled really strong of bleach.
Okay.
So then they get Lace Evans up on the stand, Courtney's older sister. And they said, how do you know David Anthony Burns? He was my fiance for 6 years. What were you doing the weekend Courtney was killed? And it's almost a little funny. Her fish was having babies.
Oh.
So she was standing at the fish tank fishing out the babies and getting them in the breeder net. And David comes in and they get in an argument. So David leaves and he comes back up 45 minutes later and she's still fishing out babies. And they get in another argument, a bigger argument. And this time he disappears and she doesn't see him again till Monday when they find out Courtney's dead.
Oh my gosh.
No one ever asked her. They asked her if she did it.
What? How does she never,
From
Oh
what
my
I can find,
gosh.
from everything I can find, maybe they did. Maybe she lied for him. Maybe she trusted him. I don't know. But
it didn't
I can't-
dawn on
or it
her
didn't dawn
ever
on her.
to think he,
Yeah,
because, I
but-
mean, who knows? Maybe they got into arguments and
had
he left a
known-
lot.
Yeah,
you know?
and he had known Courtney since she was a little girl.
Yeah, no, it probably was not even close on her radar of this
No.
is the list of people that could have harmed my sister. We get into fights sometimes, and perhaps this is a pattern of behavior. He leaves for a couple of days when we get into fights.
Yeah.
But
No,
She's just
it was to the
fishing out
point-
babies,
She's
huh?
just fishing out babies.
That's not a story you make up.
No, that's
Like,
pretty weird.
That's what I'm like. That's
no,
it's oddly
I've been there.
specific.
it is oddly specific of just like, and you would remember that too. Like, well, my
Right.
fish was having babies.
and she was hurried up and getting them before the other fish ate them.
Yeah, right.
So then they don't see him again till Monday. And then at the funeral home, when Lace is there with her mom, and they hand her the bag of Courtney's belongings, and there's some rings in it. There's the graduation ring that we talked about in the beginning, but there's another one that catches Lace's eye, and she pulls it out and she looks at it, and then she pulls off her engagement ring, and she snaps them together. David was having an affair with Courtney.
Oh no.
Lace had some suspicions before that, because Lace had a couple months before Courtney was killed. Lace had a minor outpatient surgery, but it was one of those things where you might need some help getting up. And both Courtney and David had said, yeah, if you need anything, just give me a call. Well, while she was at the hospital, anytime they were together, they disappeared.
Okay.
And that raised her spidey senses.
Sure.
But then when she got home, she called David first to come help her with something. He didn't answer. She calls Courtney, doesn't answer, calls David again. And the phone answers, but it's like one of those pocket answers. And all she hears in the background is Courtney's voice. Who was that?
Right.
So she suspected it, but seeing the ring, he bought a wedding set and gave each sister half.
Which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that's twisted.
But also, it's starting to make me think this is why Detective Green first suspected Lace. What if he had that information about her putting the rings together
must
and
have.
figuring it out?
But why was that information not in the files?
Well,
Because he's a terrible detective.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This we see all the time. Information we know but didn't document. And the number one rule in
If you
investigation,
didn't document it,
document.
it didn't happen.
that's right, exactly.
Yes.
But this tells me why Green was so honed in on
The
that.
sister.
But also he truly should have also been suspicious of David as well.
Yes.
Not just Lace. I mean,
So
we've already established he's not a great investigator.
Right.
But
Right, yeah.
now I'm starting to understand why he went down that path, perhaps a little too narrow-focusedly.
and we know
Okay.
that Lace is the one that noticed the comforter missing.
Mm-hmm.
So she and David break up, and about 4 years later, they get back together for a brief period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lace really liked David's mama, like really loved her. They had built a strong bond. So once they
Okay.
got back together, she said, I want to go over see your mama. They get to the house,
Oh, no.
and she's wrapped in a leopard print comforter sitting on the couch.
Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
So then we're going to go to Seamus Sutcliffe.
Okay.
And how this man has not received charges, I'm not sure. But I cannot find anything that says he has been charged with anything. So Seamus,
Literally
Was-
has the word shame in his name.
yes,
Just saying. But tell me more.
he was evasive, uncooperative. And he really, you could tell Hugo Holland was getting very frustrated with him. So I'm not actually going to go into any of his testimony because he really didn't testify to anything. It is his ex-wife that is the important one, Miss Tiffany Cedars.
Okay.
And she testified about the weekend of Courtney's murder. Seamus wasn't home. He showed up at home late Sunday night around 3 a.m. He stunk. Not like B.O. He stunk like death.
Oh,
And
what the hell?
when he came in, she read him the riot act for disappearing.
What is it with all these husbands just disappearing and people are like, nah, it happens? Like, what?
No, I would be
No.
hunting my husband down like a freaking
An
bounty
hour
hunter.
and a half. I'm like, where have you
Right.
been?
What have you been doing?
Right.
I mean, if my husband was
belong
gone-
next to me suffering.
Yeah. No, he belongs next to me keeping me warm because I'm always cold.
Right. Yes.
So-
Or in the kitchen doing dishes. I just had to try it on for size,
Yep.
see
I don't
how
know.
it fit.
I sure hope mine remembers to change my brakes before he leaves.
Right.
I mean, he's got chores to do.
He does.
I love you, baby.
He does listen.
He does
so,
listen. And he's going to listen to this one.
I'm sure.
So he asked her to go out to his work van and get her his toiletry kit for him.
Okay.
So Seamus asked
Hey,
Tiffany
right.
to go get the toiletry kit. When she goes in the back of her van, or in the back of his van, she finds plastic wrap and panties.
Okay.
That's when
not
maybe
what
you make
you
a
wanna
phone
see.
call.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's with all the zip ties in the panty? Like,
For sure.
So she
Don't
testified
be
all
suspicious.
that.
Don't be
be
suspicious.
suspicious.
No. Be
Yes,
suspicious.
that was
What the
very-
hell?
So that's why I'm saying that, like, I don't know how he hasn't caught any charges.
I agree.
And then Miss Stephanie, and this is really where LaCour pissed the jury off. He hammered Miss Stephanie on cross. He was brutal and mean.
Nobody wants to see that of a victim's mother.
Yes.
No.
She's
been through enough.
He just absolutely tore her up, and it was horrible. And then
About what?
because Courtney, he tried to paint Miss Stephanie as racist. Because Courtney liked to date black guys and she was a white girl.
So that
And Miss
doesn't
Stephanie's like-
mean that David Burns didn't kill her daughter. Like, what?
Well, and I think they were trying to say that Courtney didn't date white guys.
So?
And that
Who gives a
doesn't
shit?
really matter at this point.
No.
So, and Miss Stephanie's like, I don't care what color she dates. She said, I didn't have a problem with who she was dating because of their color.
No.
I had a problem with who she was dating because I felt like they were taking advantage of her.
Sure.
And
did Stephanie know that her daughters were involved with the same man?
She did not until after Courtney's death.
Sure, all of this. Sure.
Yeah, she didn't know all
which
of it.
would be normal. I mean, my gosh, I don't know about my adult children's love lives, right? Like,
Yeah.
it just, that's not,
It's not something you...
yeah.
it's
no,
not.
no.
Like, my oldest, he and his...
Unless they share information, I will say that.
Well,
but I'm just saying, if they're sneaking
Not
around,
general knowledge.
I'm not going to know
Well,
or
and-
go looking.
But even my oldest that lives out on his own,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been married and divorced, and he and his most recent long-term just split up. And like he said, Mom, that's the first one I brought home to you.
Yeah.
I knew he was
Right,
dating
sure.
others, and he's like, yeah, I got a date on Saturday night, or I'm going
Right.
out with this girl or that girl. And it's never more than that type of conversation. He
Yeah.
doesn't tell me a lot about them till he's ready to introduce them to his
Sure.
kids.
Did Stephanie find out, like, from the rings situation?
I'm not
like
sure.
that soon after she had died?
I'm really not sure
Okay.
exactly when Miss Stephanie found out about the whole thing, if Lace shared right away or if Lace kind of
Kept it
kept
to
it,
herself.
kind of digested the information a little. I'm not real sure. That is not information that was available to me.
Right.
So at that point, the prosecution rests. The defense calls one witness, the second pathologist, and all he tried to do was defend that second autopsy that was nothing but bullshit to begin with.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
The blood sample?
Yeah, the
and
blood
stuff?
sample
Okay.
and all that. He tried to defend it. He doesn't have an eighth of the knowledge or experience of Dr. Brown.
Sure.
He's not an MD,
Right.
whereas Dr. Brown is.
Yeah.
He's just a pathologist, which in
Yeah.
the state of Louisiana, they don't have to be doctors
Yeah.
to do that. So on
Okay.
October 31st, 2022, they did closing arguments, and the jury went out for deliberation. And 90 minutes later, they get a phone call to come back to the courthouse. And Woody tells Miss Stephanie, don't get too excited. They're probably just coming back with a question that's really fast. So imagine their surprise when they come back and they say the jury has reached a verdict. David Anthony Burns was found guilty of the murder of Courtney Coco.
Mm-hmm.
He is now spending the rest of his life in Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola,
Okay.
which
With the possibility of parole or
No
no?
parole.
Okay.
Nope.
Good.
Life,
Good. So
no
her
parole.
mom does not have to go through any of the parole hearings and
No.
advocate. Okay.
No. Now, so y'all know a little bit about Miss Stephanie. Over the years, Miss Stephanie has been one of the leaders of the Louisiana Victims' Rights Group.
Great.
She leads the marches. She goes out and supports other families of violent crimes. She has really taken what could have leveled her and used it as a way to reach out and spread love to others.
I'm always amazed by the parents that do that. We hear that. We've had some on our podcast before, and I follow them on social media, and I'm always in awe of their strength and bravery.
It's just a different level.
It is.
I don't know how I would react, but I think Miss Stephanie really, when I tell you, I have so much respect for this lady. And I've watched her dance on a chair. Like, we've had fun together. We go for Real Life Real Crime has what they call a crew bash every year. And usually Miss Stephanie comes with us and she hangs out with our group of OG lifers. And we really, when all of this started, we really wrapped around her.
Yeah.
And every court hearing, everything, as many of us that could be there were there. In fact, I had originally planned to take the week off of the trial and go to the trial myself to stand with Miss Stephanie. And I was not able to because of working kids, but I do know multiple, Woody calls his fans his lifers. So multiple lifers were there. They actually had a good bit of the courtroom packed with lifers to support Miss Stephanie.
Good.
And the cross is still standing in Winnie, Texas, in front of the house she was found in. Okay. That house, shortly after Courtney was killed, Miss Stephanie went back with a priest, and the priest blessed the property. A couple of years later, a family actually bought the house and finished it, and is living there. So she went over there and she saw them one day, and she said, you know, this is my daughter's cross, and if you see me over here, don't think anything of it. I'm just taking care of it. I like to come pull the weeds and plant some fresh flowers.
Sure.
And she said it was a sign for her when the lady's little dog comes running out the house and it's a little pink poodle.
Oh.
And Courtney's absolute favorite color was pink. So she said it felt like, you know, something good was happening there now. And that meant a lot to her.
Most definitely.
But shortly after, I'm not sure if it was at the funeral or shortly thereafter, Miss Stephanie stood at Courtney's grave and said, I promise you I'm going to get justice. I promise we will find out who did this. 18 years later, she got to stand there and say, we did it.
Right.
We got justice for you, baby.
That is an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
A whole lifetime later, she was able to do it.
So I have a little bit that Miss Stephanie sent me.
Okay.
Well, this first part she read on Real Life Real Crime, and I felt like it was kind of fitting to end with. It says, this is an essay Courtney wrote in 2000. It says, my biggest influence is my mom. She has had a wonderful life so far. She started out very young and rough, but managed to make it through all the hard stuff. She is pretty, young, and happy. She had 3 children, and she is a wonderful mother. Everyone has always been put before her. Her kids, her grandson, and her husband is her main priority. She will try and try until we are happy. She has always been able to support us and help us with no question asked. Now she is married with the man of her dreams, and we were all so happy when they got married because that is when she got someone to depend on for all her life. I would love to be just like my mom.
Oh.
So I felt like that was something I wanted. That tells you a lot about Courtney and where her heart was.
Yes. And it also tells you a lot about Stephanie.
Yeah.
And how right Courtney was in her assessment of her mother.
Yeah.
Because she spent 18 years making sure that the person that did that to her finally saw justice.
Yes. And Courtney was a gymnast. She loved baseball. She was spunky. But I think one of the best things, and one of the things that resonates with me, is Courtney was a gift giver. If she saw something that she knew somebody would love, she'd get it for them. It wasn't big stuff.
Right.
But Miss Stephanie said the very last gift that Courtney gave her was a pair of sandals. She now saves them and only wears them on her birthday because she wants to keep them as long as possible.
Sure.
But that is the last gift that Courtney gave her, and she treasures that. So I have been following this case since the weekend the news broke because, like I said, I was 20 the day she died. I lived in Shreveport, Louisiana, about 100 miles from her.
Okay.
If you look at a picture of me when I was 20 and a picture of Courtney, we could have been siblings.
Oh, really?
My friends were freaking out because all we knew was this girl disappeared and she was found dead. And we didn't live that far apart. And I lived by myself in the middle of nowhere, Mansfield, Louisiana, right off 171. Literally, I had someone try to break through my back door, and thank God for my dog stopping him.
Yeah.
So my friends were sleeping on my couch until, like, after a little while, you know, you kind of go back to normal life.
Right.
But for me to come full circle and actually get to know Miss Stephanie and get to hear the story of how just as a mother, she stepped up for her child.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell you, I love this woman more than I could tell y'all. And I have so much respect for her.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's the case of Courtney
Thank
Coco.
you.
That was a great story.
It was, I mean, very tragic, but beautiful in the way that you brought it all around. And so thank you so much for that. And thank you to Stephanie for allowing you to bring her daughter's story to our listeners as well and keep Courtney's spirit alive.
So Miss Stephanie is actually writing a book about it. It is finished and going to the publishers. Once I have a title for it and a release date, I will let y'all know.
Yes, please do.
So that the listeners can look for it,
Yeah,
because
post it.
Yep.
this is really so little of the story. There's so much more.
Oh, I'm
but,
sure.
I mean, Woody has like 15 hours of coverage on it, y'all.
Well, yeah. He was the journalist for it, so I would expect that definitely.
I'd love to hear more about the Detective Green and what his background is like in the cases he's covered. Like, are they consistently this terrible?
Right.
I
I mean, I think his documentation and his bedside manner could use some work.
Like, I mean, I'm sure we don't have, I don't have 100% of the thing, but just hearing the lack of effort is really concerning.
What's bothering me is that he was so close to the mark, but yet so far off.
Yeah.
That man could have solved this case.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning.
If he had put his energy
Yes.
and efforts into actually doing the job, doing the work, instead of just putting it to what he thought, his gut thought was wrong.
Exactly. What he just immediately drew in his mind, his hypothesis, no alternative hypothesis.
Yeah.
Honestly, if he had done even just a little bit more of investigative work, you were so close. You were right there at the sister. Like, how could you have missed? You know, there were clues that took him to David that he just did not.
And the fact that Woody solved it in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
went in, and all he did was crowdsource. And actually, he's funny.
What he did was ask questions. That he did investigative work. That's all that this took. This was clearly actually wasn't that complicated of a case to investigate.
No, it was a very solvable case from the very beginning, and Green really dropped the ball on this one.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Shame.
now, Detective Rabelais, he actually ended up retiring over this one from health issues that he suffered because of this.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that.
But he is on the podcast. Y'all can listen to a interview with him and Woody.
Okay.
And he's a good-hearted guy.
Yeah.
Tanner Dryden, I can't say enough good about him coming back and taking a case that was making his own department look bad. Mm-hmm. And him saying, you know what, I'll take it and I'll be that voice and I will figure this out.
Right.
And for the sheriff to support him in doing that, I can say that Alexandria PD has come a long way from Green.
Yeah. Well,
from what happened 18 years ago.
Good.
But there's still problems and there's still things they need to solve there.
Sure.
So,
and I would call Miss Stephanie a transmuter of energy. And what that means is she was able to take something very dark and she was able to transmute it and use it into something that could be much more positive, even with the heaviness in her heart. And so that's truly what a transmuter does. And it's a very beautiful gift to have. So thank you again. And thank you. We're, so sorry for the loss of Courtney.
I have some pictures I'll share with y'all.
Okay.
From some different events I've done with Miss Stephanie. I don't know if she'd want us to share them with
with the audience.
Patreons. But I have a picture of her riding piggyback on one of my friends' backs a couple weeks ago. We did a real life, real crime event. And we decided for some reason not to take the shuttle to walk. I guess
you were just going to take your own feet.
Yeah, we didn't comprehend quite how far we had to go. Mm-hmm. So at some point, we all lost our shoes. We all took our shoes off. And Miss Stephanie's got her shoes in her hand, and she's on Jamie's back, and Jamie's about my size. And Miss Stephanie's not that much bigger than me, but they look like they're about to go face first forward. Yeah. And they're both laughing so hard, and it's such a great picture of Miss Stephanie's spirit and who she is as a person. She is just still so full of joy and love, even after all of this.
Right. Amazing. Do you have a brain bath or
I
do I
do.
have okay. All right.
And actually, so this one comes from my kids and my husband.
Oh boy.
They thought this up while we were having dinner the other night because
Okay.
they enjoy listening to you cold read.
Oh God. What have they done? What have they done to me? Are you going to give me French words?
I'm going to give you and Jason in turn Louisiana words.
Oh, I'm going
No.
to kill this.
Yeah,
These are-
not me.
These are towns, streets, parishes, rivers, things that we deal with every day.
I'm going to do this back to them
I'm a
for
linguist.
Michigan
Hey,
things.
just for this, he gets to get the
We
first
have,
one.
we have
Okay.
one. Freaking Saginaw. Like,
No, Charlevoix, Traverse City. We have plenty.
So he's looking. I got the words written on a piece of paper, and I handed him the piece of paper.
is it, what part of speech is this? Is this a noun?
This is that is a town.
Okay, it's a town.
He's just staring at us.
All right.
First of all, do you need your spectacles?
No, I can. No, she wrote it big enough. I'm just trying to. I don't want to just.
Throw something
throw
out
some,
there.
you know, shit
You don't
out
want to
there.
just cold read it.
No,
That's what
okay, it's
happens sometimes, Jason.
Amite.
A meat.
Emit.
A meat.
A meat. It is actually the town that.
That's
bordered-
not even close to how that's spelled.
Oh no, they get worse.
This
They
is
get-
making me sweat.
I
I'm gonna
started
sweat
with the easy
doing
ones.
this. Oh, great.
All right, Charnell.
Okay. Awa.
So tell them what the word is. How you would normally read that if you saw that on something.
Well, I honestly, I would know. I would assume that
Spell it.
it's IOWA, but I would assume that the I is silent, so I would call it Awa, which is probably not right.
Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah. Nope. I want to call it Awa.
It's Iowa.
It's really just
It's
all you're
just how
doing is saying
it's
the letters,
It's phonetical. It's Iowa. Iowa.
missing the Y. It's spelled
How's it not
IOWA.
Iowa? It's fucking Iowa.
All right.
Well, I know, but I didn't figure it was that easy.
So then I got one for Jason that's about a 15
Also, you know
letter
what's
word.
hard about this is if you see it in a sentence, then you're going to say it, you're going to pronounce it different. You know what I mean? If you had said I went to and you put this, I would have said I went to Iowa. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, you would have said Iowa.
Is this,
Yeah.
is this a
but
place?
it's
too?
Iowa.
Is this a place?
That is a parish.
Okay. so
That is
it's
the
a
parish
location.
my husband is from.
Okay.
you've probably told me that before and I
I
still
have.
can't
I
read
know
it.
I have.
I'm sure I can.
Tanny Pahoa? No.
Did you say panty poa?
Tanny with a T.
All
Tanny,
right,
Tanny
let's see what
Pahoa?
Charnell guesses. Just out of funniness.
This is going to be funny. Tangai paha.
Y'all are overthinking it.
For sure.
It's Tangipaho.
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 Okay, we're definitely overthinking this.
So ho is spelled HOA.
Yeah.
Just ho.
Tangipaho.
Ho, 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 ho. It's a fancy way for Santa. How?
Oh.
I'm still stuck on Iowa that
Iowa. It's
Iowa.
not Iowa, it's Iowa.
There is no
It's spelled
W.
the same.
Tangipahoa. Is that what you just said?
Yeah,
Tangipahoa?
Tangipaho. No, not Tangipahoa.
Paho.
Tangipaho.
Well, I'm looking at the A. I want to call it Tangipahoa.
Established. That's how you sip
That's how we
alcohol.
know people who aren't that have
Well,
tried to
of
learn
course
it.
you're
'cause they add
outing
the
yourself.
A.
Yeah.
It's
I
Tangipaho.
might as well be standing here naked.
All right, I'm gonna give her an easy one.
Okay.
No, it's not going to be. Oh, I've actually covered a case from here before.
Then you should know this one.
I know you want to call it gross teat every time.
So what is it, Jason?
Gross titty.
What is it, Tasha?
Gross Tate.
Gross taint.
That was
Gross
close.
Tate.
It's your gross taint, not
Gross
my gross
taint.
teat.
Not your gross titties.
All right. I'm gonna give him another 20-letter word here.
Oh, you bitch.
I did not do this in order or on purpose. I just wrote
Oh,
them out.
I heard you say it. I heard you say this is the lake, right? It's the lake?
Uh-huh. That's the one.
Ponchatoon?
Pontchartrain.
Oh, Pontchartrain.
Yeah.
Pontchartrain?
Lake Pontchartrain.
Lake
Well, I
Pontchartrain.
said it right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
right.
like
Only
that
because
one.
I heard you say it.
You know what else I like? I like the Times Picayune.
The Times pick
The Times Picayune. I love it when I cover
So
cases
the
and there's
the R is
that's a
kind of silent.
Yeah.
All right.
Pontchartrain.
If I didn't hear you say it earlier, I would have said the R.
Yeah. That's Lake Pontchartrain. That actually borders our town.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Since you got that one so easy, you get the next one that's not as easy.
Perfect.
It's not as easy as you think it is.
It's not just what it is.
It's not just what it is.
Burgundy.
It is Burgundy.
Yeah.
I thought you might have
I've
known
not
that.
seen this
Just
one.
straight up Burgundy. Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Burgundy.
And now
Okay.
people are understanding. Have some empathy for why, like this is spelled Burgundy.
Words aren't as easy as they're
No,
spelled.
and there's regional vernacular, which I'm always trying to tell people too. Because up here, this is Burgundy. Down there, it's Burgundy.
Yep. And that
Potato.
that is a street in the quarter.
Wash or wash.
So here's one for you. That's another street in the French Quarter.
Oh, so the whole time I was there, I totally called that Burgundy. I'm like, babe, we got to go back to Burgundy Street.
Burgundy. Okay, this has a silent T. This has to be a silent T. Probably not.
And I'm not giving it to you because if you were just down there, somebody said,
Chupituas. Oh, I'm sorry. There's an LAS on the hold on. Chupituolas. Chupitulas. I'm overthinking it. It's probably just the word chew.
Do you know that one? I know you were on the street because you took a picture on it and posted.
Well, he was calling the other street. He was calling this Burgundy Street the whole time. Doesn't mean just because
Chupitulus, no?
No.
Oh, that was a better guess than mine. Chupitulas.
It's a very famous street.
I don't.
Tell us.
Chapatulas.
Chopatulus.
Well, how do you get chop out of... Stop it. That's not how you spell chop, people.
Close.
I knew the T was silent. I got that.
You did.
But,
Well, this
but
comes
this
from
is not how you
This comes from the
chop.
freaking French Canadians
I
trying to
know.
pronounce Spanish.
It's our little...
It's literally how this shit happened.
It's so made up.
They're like,
It's fake.
this is, let's fuck it. Let's do it.
You know what? It's chop. It's choppy. You don't want to know why? Because it was probably somebody who, like me, that just cold read everything and was like, and they had power. So they're like, and now this is what this is. Chopulus. Like, but that doesn't
making
say
Burgundy
that.
fancy.
Right, exactly. We can't be regular Burgundy. We must be
Burgundy.
Burgundy. It's a little darker.
Yeah.
Is that the last one?
No, I got one more.
Okay.
Who wants it
Give it to
first?
her.
Because this
Give
is
it to
going to
her.
take both of y'all. I'm pretty sure. This is a parish.
I want to call it Plague Mine.
It's probably not.
I know it's not. Plegimi. Lugmine.
Everyone from Louisiana just heard how you said that, and they now know what word you're talking
Uh-huh.
about, and
I bet.
they're yelling it at their radios
Yep.
right now.
100%.
Plagamini.
Plaquemines.
What is it?
Plaquemines.
Plaquemines.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could play this game all day long with her too, because you know what?
Hey,
Mackinac.
I read.
Mackinac.
How do you say this?
I read and said correctly Ypsilanti.
There you go.
That's a good
That
one.
one's
That's
that
tough.
one's not bad. Yeah, if you know, Ypsilanti, it can be.
Because I talked to Megan and I said I'm gonna be
Yeah.
going through Ypsilanti if you need me to pick anything
If you get
up.
that right and you can get Mackinac right the first time you see it, then they'll
No,
accept you here.
you're forgetting. You're forgetting some of our more indigenous.
Like Battle Creek?
No, it is just Battle Creek.
Well-
it's not Battle Creek every time. It's just
And
Battle Creek.
that's what you got to remember about a lot of Louisiana words is that a lot of them are Native American names
Yeah.
in town.
Yeah.
Like we've got Rain, Louisiana, the home of the Frog Festival.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then like Luling right across the
that's
river
pretty.
from me.
I like that.
And they're just all either French or they're Indian names. And it really does throw people off because the spelling isn't anything like you would think.
We have a lot of indigenous.
Yeah. A lot of Native American indigenous towns and names.
Towns and street names and all of that. So it does. Yeah.
I think Mississippi takes the cake. I went to high school in a little town called French Camp, and the school.
The town is called French
The
Camp.
town's name is French Camp. The school is French Camp Academy, and the school really is the town. But the next town over is Ware. So try having a conversation about where you're going.
Right.
When you're going to
Right.
Ware.
It's like who's on first.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Yeah, my dad calls and he's like, "So what you doing on Friday?" And I said, "I'm going to a football game." "Oh, where are y'all going?" I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "Where?" I'm like,
Yes.
Yes.
"Where, Mississippi?" And he goes, "Where in Mississippi?"
Is it spelled
I'm like,
WEAR? Like you're gonna actually
Yes.
physically wear Mississippi?
Yes.
Okay.
It is Where, Mississippi.
All right.
Is the very next
Like
town
wearing
over.
a coat.
Someone had a
Yep.
bad idea.
Someone really, really did. Yes.
It causes a lot of fun confusion.
I bet it does. I bet it does. Well, thank you again so much for being here and coming all this way.
That was fun.
Thank you so much for being here and coming all this way for us. And thank you all so much for listening. And you gave us an extra long episode for today for the general audience. So they were due for a long episode, I think. So
I probably should have warned you that this one was going to go long because I figured with all of the information.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all
thank
right.
you
We
for
probably could have
housing
made
me.
it a two-parter actually,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Well, thank you for housing me.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's quite comfortable, but yeah.
Although we need to talk about your son's fuzzy headboard.
I don't know what that's all about. Him and his father designed it.
That's
middle of the
concerning.
night last night, I sleep with my hand above my head sometimes.
Me too.
And I hit something furry.
Yeah.
And I'm just pretty
freaked you
surprised
out?
no one heard me squeal
yeah.
because next thing I knew, I was standing at the foot of the bed trying to figure out what furry thing touched me.
Just the headboard. It's just the fabric covered, the fur covered headboard. I don't know. It was a good idea 6 years ago. But anyway.
It's a little strange. I sat there and petted it this morning. Okay, that's what touched me.
It's soft. Thank you all so much for listening. And we hope that you keep it curious.
Keep listening.
Until next time.
Until next time.
It took me a long time to get it too. Don't worry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.